My long-lost daughter showed up at my doorstep, and now I have to decide if I should take her in as her father. Am I the asshole or maybe not doing that? Hi, dads. When I, male 32, was a teenager, I dated a girl, Kay. One day, Kay broke up with me out of the blue with no explanation.
My heart.
Heartbreak. Fast forward 15-ish years later, the police showed up at my apartment. Long story short, Kay was pregnant with my kid 15 years ago. She got charged with a bunch of drug charges, and when they asked if her daughter could go to any family, she said, I was the dad.
I mean, it's true, ain't it?
It's true, but maybe. Well, after a paternity test, I do have a 15-year-old daughter with Kay.
There it is.
So my daughter is going to come live with me today. I'm not a dad, quote unquote. I don't have kids or a significant other, just dogs. So I'm pretty clueless when it comes to being a dad or taking care of a kid, especially one who's a teenager. And also it's like, it's different if you were suddenly a dad and it's like, hey, you have to take care of this baby. Because at least you're starting from like zero.
Right.
But now it's just like you're shoving this hormone-filled half human into your life.
Human.
And it's just like, well, I haven't gone through all the other stages of dad. And it's like you're just like putting it on level 15 in hard mode, expecting this guy to like go crazy with it. Like,
I also loved how you described her as like an angsty centaur. A hormone raging half human.
After talking with her social worker, she says Kay was neglectful to my daughter and isn't going to be used to being taken care of or having structure, which will be a big adjustment for her. So basically this child has been roaming free, galloping the plains for the last 15 years without someone to tell her yay or nay.
God damn it, he got me.
The social worker says I need to be patient with her and just show her love and support even if she doesn't want it. I have a room all ready for her in my apartment. It's pretty basic because I didn't want to overwhelm her. So yeah, she's coming today, just hoping for some support, maybe some tips. So we don't usually do this on the show. We don't like read the comments from the commenters, but I decided like so many people have asked for it. So we're going to read some comments. So commenter, start by talking to her. Let her know you're here for her. Get to know her and then support her interests and hobbies. Let her decide how she wants to decorate her room. It's a bit more work starting from the middle like you are, which I totally said. It's starting on hard mode, dude. Because
Angsty centaur.
Angsty centaur. Because you weren't there to learn who she was as she was figuring it out herself. Make the environment safe and welcoming to her and give her the privacy she needs. She's not in a position where she needs someone to come down hard on her. She's in a position she needs someone that she knows she can turn to no matter what is wrong.
Yeah.
And OP says, I met her twice. Definitely more difficult starting from the middle. It would have been a lot easier with a little kid or baby. I know this is a big adjustment for us both, so I'm not going to try to go all strict dad on her. It's more about support, I think. And then we have another commenter giving some advice. So, holy hell, welcome to the club in the craziest way possible, I guess.
Truly.
And also, we are going to get into another update, but we just want to read because like OP is interacting with the commenters, kind of figuring out his strategy towards parenting. First things first, this is from the commenter. I can tell you that you're probably not going to want to do this alone. You're going to want as many other people on your team as possible. This is going to be a huge adjustment for both of you. The difference is she's coming into it with half as much life experience and no base support at all. Don't try to take this alone. Second, if I were to put myself in your shoes, I'd say that the one thing I try to remember over everything else is empathy. It's going to be tough, but think about everything this kid has been through. Also, remember that this is your chance to be what sounds like the first positive influence on this kid's life, which is so true. Like OP has a chance to like do some really good here.
For real.
You could honestly be the difference between whether this girl's life goes in a positive direction or a negative one. I know that's not exactly fair to you and it's a ton of pressure, but this is your chance to step up and do what may end up being one of the most important things you've ever done in your life. That's the role of a dad in a nutshell, really. You're the person who's going to model what a man should be. You'll mess it up, it'll be tough, and sometimes you'll feel like a complete failure, but if you show up, care, and support her as best you can, you'll be okay. Good luck, man. You can do it. And OP responds, damn, that's a lot of pressure. My parents definitely plan on helping out a lot, and I have a few close friends who are willing to help out too. I want to be a good role model for her because she deserves that.
That's a great point. Like you're coming into this blind. It's like, yo, parents, yo, you raised somebody. Yo, me, yo, friend. Could you you hop in? Like, I think it's good. He's like tapping his community to be like, yo, I need support in this because this is kind of
the hardest thing I'm ever gonna have to do.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, and then there's like stuff talking about like menstrual supplies, which he says his mom is going to help out with. And then another commenter says, definitely avoid drinking substances if you enjoy it. And OP says, yeah, I occasionally drank and I figured it would be best to stop doing that for a little while because of everything with her mom. I am honestly both nervous but excited to be part of her life. I never thought I would start being a dad to a 15-year-old instead of a baby, but I'm happy to have her, honestly, even if I don't know what I'm doing. But things so far aren't too bad and going relatively well. And now on for the update. So she has been through a lot from what I can tell. She's very underweight and not used to having consistent meals. I put a snack bin in her room so she hopefully doesn't feel the need to hide food, at least stuff that isn't supposed to be left out. I told her she could get food from the kitchen whenever she wanted, but that seemed to overwhelm her a bit, so now it's the snack bin. I also have breakfast and dinner, lunch on weekends at a consistent time, so she just knows a meal is going to happen. She also has nightmares and screams. Of course, she hasn't told me what they're about. I don't expect her to yet, but whatever it was traumatic for her. So I'm in the process of finding a therapist for her, that's freaking awesome.
That's fantastic.
For some more positive things, I got her to open up enough to find some things about her. Firstly, she loves my dogs and we took them on a walk together. She's smart, loves to read, and she likes to play basketball. I of course told her some stuff about me. She's pretty quiet and reserved. I expected her to not really be open with me considering I am a stranger to her, but things so far aren't too bad and going relatively well. It's now September 19th, 2023, which is not that long ago.
No.
It's like last month.
My goodness. Real time.
Things have been going pretty good so far.
Okay.
Today, she was sitting in the kitchen doing homework, and once she finished, she started playing with my dogs, but she left a few papers out after putting the rest away, and I asked what those are, and she said, oh, some test I had to take this week. I asked if I could see them, and she said sure, and had gotten A's on 3 tests, chemistry, history, and geometry, after being at school for less than 2 weeks.
Oh, hey, come on now.
Let's go. He's got a Smartie on his hands. I was honestly very impressed, not because I don't think she's not smart, but because she just started at a new school and is having a big life adjustment. I told her that was amazing and ended up going on about how I didn't care about the school aspect of school and just cared about sports and friends. She said, I enjoy learning and reading and it helps me get away from life.
Wow, what a great escape. Your grades.
Then it hit me that it was her way of escaping from the assumingly not good life with her mom and focused her mind in something else like learning and reading. And honestly, it makes me really sad to think about. And then some commenters say, celebrate the wins, Dad. Showing encouragement and interest in her academic success talent will only help her treat it as a positive gift rather than an escape. And OP says, I could tell she's not used to getting encouraged or at least told good job because she kept saying, yeah, it's no big deal. OP says to another commenter, I honestly feel lucky to have her in mine as well. She's a good kid, just been through a lot, which even though I don't know the details of, it makes me sad knowing she had to go through tough things at such a young age. And then to another one says, I know that this will be really difficult, but I know it's because she's not used to being cared about or just having more overall life stability and will want to see what she can get away with possibly. And now, September 19th, 2023, daughter broke my heart.
Oh, what?
So earlier we were out to eat because I didn't feel like cooking and I found out my daughter has never had tacos. So we went out for tacos and we were having a very casual conversation until a mother with 2 daughters, I would say both girls under 10, came in and you could just tell the girls were having fun with their mom and all 3 clearly loved each other. Well, my daughter got quiet and just kept staring at them. I didn't want to pry, so I kept quiet. She didn't say anything until randomly on the drive home, she said, sometimes it's hard seeing girls have a good relationship with their mom. I get jealous because my mom and I never did. Then she started crying and let me know she wanted to be left alone the rest of the night. It was hard to see her crying and upset. It's also difficult to know that even though I'm now around in my daughter's life and I'm trying to be a good parent, she still spent the first 15 years of her life not having a good relationship with her mom. And I can't fix that. I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah.
Which sucks because she didn't deserve to be neglected and possibly abused. I'm just in my feelings and really sad. And a commenter said, it's amazing that she already is so open with you. You must be doing something right. Keep it up, Dad. And OP says, she just randomly will say stuff, then shut out for like a few hours and not talk. I don't know if it's because she feels safe, but then feels weird about talking how she feels or what it is. And then another commenter says, I've been following the updates. How has your relationship been going? How have you been doing? And OP says, I definitely feel like I've grown a tad attached despite living a very different life compared to before having my daughter around and having to change really fast. I can tell she's a good kid, seems like she has big goals, but I can also tell she has her guard up constantly by how she carries herself and how she acts. We mostly talk about dogs, basketball, and football. I'd shared stuff about me and she's shared what she wants about herself. Another commenter says, give her a big hug and be there for her. OP says she actually hates hugs or being touched in general. Luckily, I didn't find that out the hard way, but from her social worker, but that was just another sign of abuse. And then another commenter says, just wanted to say, I have a 16, almost 17-year-old daughter. Our situations are different, but from what I can somewhat tell, their moms are the same. My daughter's mom was an absolute deadbeat drug addict who only appeared in her life when it was time to go to court and try to screw things up. Long story short, I have full custody of her since she was around 10. My daughter feels the same way as your daughter does. In fact, my daughter goes into some pretty dark places whenever she thinks about her mom or whenever the mom tries to communicate with her. If she's having trouble or issues, I generally know it's because that side of the family is at it again. I'm just posting to say, I understand and it sucks, but don't be discouraged. Yes, you might have missed out on the earlier years, but you guys have a lifetime to establish a good bond. And as someone who has both younger and older kids, there are some really cool things that you get to do with your older kids that you can't do with them while they are young, or they will enjoy much more as an older kid. And OP says, I'm sorry about your daughter's mom. I can tell my daughter's mom is a very touchy subject for my daughter. Thank you. I'm going to try and make up for the years of not being around. I did explain I didn't know about her, and that's why I wasn't around. It wasn't about me making that choice. And I kind of think that's where things are now. I think that's the end.
Man, I hope we get an update in the future on how things are going.
I think that's it.
Well, one thing is clear. OP is the angel in this scenario.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
It's awesome that OP is like stepping up to the plate and actually seems like he's really caring and getting advice from like the Reddit community. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Good, solid advice. Everything we heard was actually great. Yeah. I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, dude, shout out to this guy. And hopefully, you know, like we said, like it's a lot to step into and a lot to figure out. And also, kind of great that, I mean, his daughter sounds like amazing, like great in school, like seems to want to better herself and is kind of like using academia and like other like positive things as a means of escape, which is fantastic.
Which is amazing. Yeah, so I hope things continue to go well for OP.
Big question is, everyone watching, what would you do if your long lost child of 15 years shows up at your doorstep?
Yeah.
What do you do? That's the question.
But yeah, I mean, I think OP is like being the best dad that he can. Like that's pretty awesome.
Huge shout out to OP.
Mm-hmm.
The man, the myth, the legend.
But yeah, let us know what you would do if your daughter showed up at your doorstep.
That's right. Speaking of which, I got something I'm going to drop on your doorstep, Sam.
A big old dookie?
A big old story.
Let's go.
DNA test revealed I have a long lost brother. My mom wants to kick him to the streets, but I don't. Here's what happened.
Your mom wants that brother to stay lost.
Who likes being found anyways? Everyone knowing where you are all the time.
Have you ever heard of the game hide and seek? The whole point is to keep hiding.
A year and a half ago, my dad got a message on Facebook from a young man claiming to be his son.
Okay.
Now, my dad originally thought it was a scam.
Which, if I'm getting DMs saying I am your son, I'm not necessarily going to believe it instantly.
But the guy provided enough information to keep them messaging back and forth. They ended up taking a DNA test, which concluded he was in fact my dad's biological son.
Wow. How did the dad not know?
That's a great question. Maybe he took a flight like thousands of miles away to a place like Indonesia, and then he met some beautiful women, and then just one thing led to another, and then here he was.
Are you saying that because I had a girlfriend in Bali?
Girlfriend? What are you talking about?
And I might have a son in Australia now.
I know no such thing, sir. How doth you accuse me?
Why doth you accuse me?
Why doth you accuse me?
Such a crime.
Yes. I am innocent.
I don't think I have any kids.
But my dad told my siblings, 17 female and 14 male, and myself, 19 female, along with our mom, when he first got the message because he thought it was a funny scam.
It is a pretty funny scam if it was.
This is backfiring on him hard.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, I got a whole extra son out here. We all remained in the loop when he realized he actually had a relationship with the woman he claimed was his mom, and then the DNA test was confirmed.
Shit.
That's how it goes.
So why did the mom not say anything?
That is a great question.
That's what I want to know.
My mom was not impressed by the whole situation.
I can't imagine she would be.
I can see that. However, the son is 27 years old, so he was conceived before my mom even knew my dad. So at least infidelity is out of the picture, which it is not always the case.
Not always the case.
My dad stayed in contact with his son, and my siblings and I FaceTimed him multiple times in the following months. We all really liked him.
Cool.
In January, he came to visit for a few days. It would have been an enjoyable visit if my mom hadn't been so sour about the whole situation.
I mean, yeah. It is like she's wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
But it's an understandably weird situation.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
It's weird.
Although, like, there's no infidelity.
There's no infidelity. Like, the husband didn't do anything wrong. The kid's not doing anything wrong. Like, no one's really at fault except the mom, but I understand the mom being a little weirded out by that. Yeah.
It's just like
it's just weird. It's weird.
It's a stepson just with surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise stepson.
Myself and my dad also met up with him in March for a few days. I think there was a couple more times throughout the spring/early summer where my dad had met up with him. At some point this year, my half-brother moved back to his hometown. In July, he invited my dad to spend some time together there. My dad went alone, and he also spent time with his son's mom.
Oh, and they got back together.
You look the same as 27 years ago when I... that way.
Let's have another kid together, baby.
Yeah.
And this one won't be a surprise.
Oh, God.
I'm not pulling out of this marriage.
When my dad got back from the trip, my mom said that she just knew that he cheated. I now know that he had cheated multiple times in their marriage.
Ooh, baby. We got some baggage.
We got some baggage
on the floor.
Some receipts.
Terminal 2, baggage claim number 4. You see that suitcase circling around on that metal obelisk.
Now, she confronted him about it, and he confessed to sleeping with his son's mom multiple times while on this trip.
Damn, well, you're not going to do it once.
Yeah, I mean, you open a Pringles can.
Yeah,
you gotta have a few, you know what I mean?
The whole can.
You're like 27 years. Let's see if this puppy can run, has the mileage there, you know? My mom kicked him out, and they have been separated ever since, and I don't think they'll ever reconcile. At this point, I've mostly cut off my dad too, because it makes me sick that he would hurt my mom like that.
Dang, dude. He really chose families on this one.
When I found out about my dad cheating, I messaged my half-brother. He claimed to not know what had happened.
Yeah, right, dude. Y'all are in the same house. I thought they were just having a screaming contest.
He claimed to not know what had happened, but apologized about the situation. However, my mom blames him and has said to me multiple times that she thinks what's happened is his fault and that he should have stayed out of our business and left our dad alone in the first place. No.
I mean, you know, the person who's at fault is the dude that was sticking his dick where it don't belong.
Yeah, he just wanted a relationship with his father. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's that. You can't fault him for that.
Yeah, I
don't.
You
can
think
fault your husband for cheating, though, for sure.
My sister agrees with her, but my younger brother and I don't. I remain in communication with my brother, and he's invited me to come on vacation with him in a couple of months. I have the money for it, so I agreed. My mom hit the roof when she found out and couldn't believe I still had a relationship with my half-brother, let alone wanted to go on vacation with him.
Yeah. No, she's hurt. She's hurt.
Yeah.
She's hurt.
I think maybe not the best time.
She's hurt.
My sister thinks I'm being an a-hole to her mom for wanting a relationship with the guy they think broke up our family. I argued it was our dad that broke up our family. She replied that even with that being true, shouldn't I want to protect our mom's feelings by not openly having a relationship with our brother? Am I the a-hole?
I say no. I say no, OP. I want to know what everyone else thinks. So put your answers in the comments. But I don't think OP is the a-hole for wanting to have a relationship with his stepbrother. I think the dad's the a-hole for sure. I think the mom is like I think it's just expected how she feels, even though it's not necessarily like even though it's like it's not completely fair.
Yeah.
To the stepbrother, like I understand how she feels, so I don't want to like fault her for anything.
Yeah.
But it's like the dad's the a-hole. She shouldn't fault the stepbrother for just wanting a relationship with her dad or with his dad, and also she shouldn't fault her son or OP for wanting to have a relationship with his stepbrother.
Yeah.
You know, but
brother.
I understand weird, hard, and the fact that also is the dad and the lady, the OG lady of 27 years ago with that 2 to the 7 booty, is she still in his life? Are they still hooking up?
That is the question, which like is low key like even more sad if they're not, because it's just like you just threw everything away
for a quick bang.
At least if it was like, all right, you know what? I realized after 27 years you were the one.
You were always
like,
the one.
Still like terrible, but at least not as bad as like, yeah, I just had to run it back on her back end one more time. Like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, I kind of hope they're together.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know.
Because at least a 27-year-old has a happy family again.
Someone's got a happy family, right?
Yeah, but that like that if like they aren't together, now the 27-year-old has an even more broken family.
God
Yikes.
Damn.
Yeah. If you ever wondered if you were the reason that mommy and daddy couldn't be happy, maybe it is.
It's a rough one.
But let me know what you guys think. Like, put your answers in the comments. And also, has anything like this ever happened to you? Have you been in a position where like, you know, like maybe it's more like, you know, you have a stepbrother or a cousin or something that you want a relationship with, but the parents don't. And so like, do the parents get like, have you ever been crossed fire between the parents and like the kids? I would love to know if that's ever happened to you.
And where's a good place they could send those stories, Sam?
Oh, they can send it to r/OKOP show, or you can call our number right now and leave us a voicemail with your story.
That's 440-508-6567. Send in your stories. We'll see you on the next one.
See you soon.